Natasha Denona's newest palette out. It's called the Golden Palette, and this is what it looks like. These indentations looking like gold. And this is what it looks like inside. When I put this on, I was feeling, and it could be me, I could be losing my idea of what color is. I felt like there was a little bit of a touch of green. And I started thinking it's almost as if it has a little bit of yucca in it. So I pulled two palettes out. I saw someone on Sephora say, if you have the bronze, do you need the gold? They're completely different. They're so different. Hello, they're very different. Let's get this. Okay, so the light's not shining on it terribly. That's good. You can see, hopefully, let's hide my jolly bits. Nice. You can see that the bronze has a lot more warmth in the brownie tones, and this one seems quite neutral. But I would say that it does lean a little warm. I felt like it did when I put it on my eyes. So I didn't shoot yesterday. I'm shooting again today. And today I might find that I have a different effect because I do think I put some foundation on before I started, which will change the color of things. And I wanted to show you the yucca because I felt like there was some green going on. Now the yucca is such a beautiful, fun palette, but on the day-to-day, it's not something I'm going to use because it's a little bit outside my comfort zone for real life. The video I did, which I will post right here, I loved that look. I loved the looks I got from it. This is more like for every day. You have to set aside the marketing that Denona does and that Pat McGrath does, where it's just these huge, gaudy, really not very attractive eye looks. And take a look at what I'm doing, which is for real people in real life on the everyday, and then we'll kind of deepen it up for an evening look. In fact, let's go into that footage from yesterday or 2 days ago where I show you 3 different looks, 3 different intensities using, I think I used about 4 or 5 shades. Now, if you've been here before, you know that when I review palettes, I often give little tutorials, little pieces of advice, so hold on. So first I'm going to go in with Flesh, which is the lightest brown. This is a dense, fluffy brush. I'm initially just going to pat it, just transferring that powder. And I think it's reading a little bit warmer than I thought it might. And now I'm turning it so the tip is doing the blend. So a really nice, easy blend. So here it is. Honestly, everyday look, you're just going out to, even to the office, you know, a little mascara, a little liner, one color, one and done, why not? But that's not what we're here to do. Let's do a little bit more. Now I'm going to take a no longer available brush. This is a Squirrel from Wayne Goss, and it's small and really good for hooded. This is the shade Aria. I'm just going to lay down kind of on the side of the brush, and then I'll blend with the tip. Circular motions. Open the eye to see if I'm where I want to be. And now I just, because of the shape of this brush, I can just kind of go back and forth with my eye open. And now I've pulled out my eye a little bit. You can see the difference from side to side. So far I'm thinking that this seems to be warmer than I think. This looks very neutral, but on me I'm feeling like it's pulling warmer. It could, however, be my foundation that is making me think that way. I'm taking a small brush. I think it's a Hakuhodo, but everything is rubbed off. I can't tell you what the number is. However, I knew that would happen, so I always have this brush listed down below. There's 2 Hakuhodo brushes. This is one of them. And I'm going in with this shade right here, which is Valaris. And it has a bit of a sheen to it. That's really, really lovely. I am going to do by the lash line. This formula is slightly creamy. Picking up with a brush. And so it's a satin. And I thought that might be pretty right by the eye. Blush. I think this color would also be a beautiful one and done. In fact, I'm kind of going to go more all over the lid with this. Even though we passed the point of making this a one and done. There's something very pretty about this color. I think there might be a little bit of green in it, a little bit of khaki-ness in it. It doesn't look like it on my hand, but again, I was thinking this would be a taupey color, and I do see a bit of a warmth, and I think it's really lovely. It's just really done something for my eyes. So I'm going to stop here while I'm ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do my Sweed mascara. No, I think I'm going to do the Queen Musia. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but I like this kind of brush. It's super fluffy. And just do a little bit of mascara. I could leave the lip like this. I have a very punchy lip today, my lip, but a lot of color. Or I can dot this on, just to take that pinkness down a touch and bring it into the family of these warmer tones. And that's it, you guys. This is an everyday look that I think is super easy, and I feel like it's doing something for the color of my eyes. When I did this shade right here, all of a sudden the eye color really pops. So there's something special about this. If you have green eyes, hazel eyes, or blue eyes, I think it's going to give you that little je ne sais quoi. I was going to take off everything and then do another look, but Renee, my eyelids are so tender today that I think what I'm going to do is show you how to take this a little bit deeper. So if you are going out at night, for instance, and you want a neutral look, a little bit bigger, we're going to do that now, which means I'm taking my color up higher and darker. I'm going to go in with Teak, which is quite a bit darker. And by the way, I didn't try this first, so we'll see how it works. I'm going to focus right here to help really make my eyes look like I have a socket. And then gentle strokes over here. You see how just adding that opened my eyes up right here, elongated them, even though there's hardly any at the end. You don't need a lot. Just kind of take the remnants and pull them out here. And again, so easy to blend this. It really is kind of amazing. And Squirrel is a very, very soft brush. So now I've gone a little more sophisticated for evening, but we have to give some of these golds a try. Here's the thing, when you're hooded, you can't really use these lovely things because you can't see it. Your eyes are open, and oftentimes it'll just transfer up here. A good trick is inner corner. You could use it right at the lash line over something darker, or you can do something under here, maybe right under the iris. I'm going to go with Kava right here with my finger, even though my nails are a little bit long, and see how this just presses on the lid. Oh, that's gorgeous. Stop. Huh. So pretty. Now it lightened up everything, and again, because my eyes are hazel, it really does something. Now, like I said, I could have put it right at the lash line. And now you see what I mean. When my eyes are open, that's all you see is that skin right by the lash line, but that sparkle helps to make your eyes sparkle. So either way, in fact, let's do it that way on the other eye. And there it is right by the lash line. A little more sophisticated, a little more fancy, maybe for holidays or something like that. But same effect when your eyes are open. But because I am hooded and I know that this will end up being here, I may as well just put it up there. Okay, so this is not a dark, dark evening eye, but a lot of us can't take a dark evening eye because our eyes are small and it makes it smaller, or because as you get older, I think a lot of darkness near your eyes doesn't do you any favors. So for me, this is an idea of doing something just a little bit outside the box, a little unexpected. And if you want to, go in with a clean brush and just do a final blend so everything looks so purposeful and so right and not sloppy. And then when I get to the top, whatever's left of my brush, I'll pull all the way up to the brow, just because the brows are a little bit shiny, not really about color. But now it's bringing it up even a notch more for evening. And I really, really like this. So if you've never been here before, when I've done a big palette review, I don't do swatches this way or this way. I do them by color so we can see what the variety is. And we're going to do it right now. Let's go here. We're going to start with the mattes here and here. And there's nice variety there for different skin tones. Then we have a matte here and here and here. These feel great. This one feels a little bit creamier than the others. And I do think there's a little bit of mustard or a little bit of green in here. So these are lovely, neutral to warm, and I'm a little surprised. Online, I thought that they were super, super neutral without being cool, but now I think they are leaning warm. It's a gold palette. And the final, the dark one. So I think there's a nice variety, and I don't see anything that is being duplicated. And look how beautifully these swatch. They swatch like a dream. They are creamy powders, but they don't feel like cream. They just feel very finely milled. Now we're going to go on with the shimmers and the glitters and whatever else is going on here. And I'm going to try to do it light to dark. So this looks like the lightest, and then maybe this. Let's go with this one. It feels like a fleshy kind of tone, but it's not. So there must be pink in here to give it the copper. Very nice reflection though, but it looks different. Let's do these two. So this reminds me of her gold palette that she did a couple of years ago that is no longer out. That was blue and gold, and the blue in it was fantastic. But there were some golds in there that looked right, and then when you swatched them, they weren't. And it could even be the same shades. My hands are a little sweaty. It's a little hot today. I like this. This does seem a little flesh toned. And finally, these two shades. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, that's serious. I'm just going to double swatch all of these. Okay, so because it is a little sweaty, it is a little sweaty, I'm a little sweaty, I wiped everything off, and here they are as they appear, starting here, down, and then back up here, so in order. And then this right there. So these are your shimmer glitters, whatever they are, and here are your mattes. I really like that there's a wide variety of mattes. It used to be when these kinds of palettes came out, it was like 2 mattes and the rest of it was shimmer. So this is a very nice change. And that's the swatching portion of this video. So that was it. I think I used all of the mattes except for this one, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. Again, I didn't do any you know, pre-playing with this to see. And once again, it is extraordinarily cloudy out. In fact, it's so cloudy that it's dark, so I feel like I'm in a dark hole here while I'm shooting. I'm going to start with this all over the eye. Rephr 01, which is your basic brush, kind of like a 217, except for Rephr brushes are goat, and goat just behaves differently. But I have a little bit of foundation, so just pat that out. And this has some nice pigmentation, which can be hard for cream colors. I love a cream color in a palette because you can dip into it to make a color that is too dark for you, lighter, and to diffuse. If you want to diffuse up here, you can go into the color you're diffusing and then with this cream and get a really nice blend. I do think that this shade right here, one and done, finger application, no problem. There's something I noticed. I'm going in with this one right here, which appears in some angles to have a little bit of a pink undertone to it. I haven't been really doing eyes lately. I think for me, I go into the Mario palette or Denona's Last palette and do one color, give myself some definition, and I'm done. And I think it's true for a lot of us, but playing with this the other day makes such a difference in the overall look. Now this is reading to me, sitting here in a dark room, quite warm. While in the palette, I feel like it has a little coolness to it. I think I'm going to go do a little traditional, the way for years people were doing this on YouTube, where they go and deepen up right here. If you're not hooded, it's great. It changes the shape of your eyes. When you are hooded, not so great. And I'm going to take this shade, which is Teak. I think I've seen Teak somewhere before from her, but I don't know where. I'm just going to dot it on and lightly blend by the lash line and up here where I can feel my brow bone. Again, these formulas, they really can't be beat. They get better and better. And I've seen Natasha Denona say that she's always changing formulas and changing with formulas. And sometimes they're fails, but in this case, I have not run into a fail yet. The skin on my lid is much looser on this side, so I'm changing brushes. And this is a Sonia G. It's a very small goat, so I can get the color exactly where I want it and then blend out. It's just getting really hard with the crepes, the loose skin. And I'm going to do that on the other side too. So I'm just kind of deepening out what I've already done. And this is where I have not only really loose skin, but my tear duct gland protrudes here, so this eye is very hard. I'm explaining this to you because the formulas are fantastic. Now I'm going back with that bigger brush to blend it all. Okay, again, for me this is kind of an everyday look, a little bit more than everyday, giving me a little bit of emphasis, kind of pulling the eye out a little bit, and I think these tones are really, really lovely. But we're going to go a little darker. I didn't try this. I did touch it, and it's just the silkiest mattes ever. But they don't feel oily, and I'm going to deepen up a little bit more. Just transferring it from the brush to the eye, and then blending. Normally, I would actually probably get this mirror and hold my eye taut so it doesn't get stuck. I am going to do that in my creepy skin. So much easier. And just, I give tutorials while I'm doing these palette reviews. Where you put your finger can actually help stop the color from going out too far. I'm going in circular motions. really gently let the brush do the work. The star of this palette, and most of her palettes, are of course the special shades, the glitters, the shimmers, the whatever they are. Ooh, like. But when you're hooded, those don't really matter that much, but we're gonna play with them. I think what she's done with this palette is put together depths of tones and undertones that will suit many different people, but I'm not sure that you can get a variety of different looks out of this, except for not through color, just through your skill. Now I'm going back into the first brush that might have a little something on it and just kind of smooth everything out so it's not so chunky up here. And this is a lovely, again, everyday kind of look, nothing crazy, a neutral palette. I would say neutral to warm. And now we're going to do a little bit of swatching here to see what our choices might be. They're all gold. I think what's different here is formula rather than color. I'm just going to swatch those again. This one seems a little bit more coppery. This one also on the coppery kind of side, and this one more yellow gold. Or rather than coppery, rose gold. And this, and this. Ooh, really gold. We're not kidding. Again, a little coppery. This is like 24 karat gold, and this is more like 14 karat gold. I don't know, I feel like those colors are a little bit repetitive, but I'm sure that the formulas, I'm taking Alchemist, and I'm going to put it right here. And this is more like that 24 karat gold. It's really opens up everything. And I think I'm going to do another color on the other side. This is a room, also on the bottom row. And yeah, this is more 24 karat gold, and the formula does seem to be a little different. Definitely. More copper in this one, more like 24 karat gold. And this seems to be better at opening up the eyes in this one, probably because it's lighter. All right, I did try to take this off with a Q-tip, just rubbing it off. That didn't work. So I'm going to take a little makeup remover, a little micellar water, and try to very gingerly take these off so we can try with the other colors and see what those look like. But I will say this, when I went to go get these in the other room, I looked in the mirror and had better light in there. It's a very pretty look. It is. Back to Flash. So the first two colors were Alchemist on this eye and Room on this eye. And I think what I want to try is Aura, which looks white, but as you can see, it's not. I've cleaned off my lids, but I didn't put anything on them to remove the redness. And this is much more subtle than the first two. And I do see a little bit of that whiteness in it. And I'm going to do Kava, and this is more sparkly. I prefer something that's more sparkly. I think at night it's really, really pretty over something foiled. And the color is more neutral. Oh, that's so pretty. I got it under my eye, but it is so pretty. So see how that just has a more sparkly kind of thing going on? I like that. But I do feel that this one is making my eye look a little bit more open. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think I've tried on everything except for these two, which look pink, but they're not pink. And that's what those look like. I feel like all of these golds are just, I don't know, kind of repetitive. With slightly different formulas. So let's turn off the camera, do my concealer, do a blush, do a lip, change for a final look. So that's going to wrap it up, you guys. So what are my conclusions? Do I like the looks that I got? I do. Is this the most unusual thing that I feel that I have to have it? It is not. Look, I'm here, I want to make money, I want you to click those links, but I also believe that my most important currency is my honesty. These are beautiful formulas, 100%. I can't think of another formula that I like better. I really can't. Pat McGrath's, when she was doing those expensive palettes, had nice formulas, really nice formulas, but the colors didn't work for me. They run very dark. So for me, Natasha Denona, the best formula on the market and very easy to blend. These colors are neutral. So we are staying in the neutral lane, which she has found great success with. I think when she stopped doing the crazy colors and started doing the neutrals and selling a lot, she understood people want the neutrals. But she herself, this is my guess, really likes the metallics, even though most people don't wear them. Certainly on a daily basis. It's something that she's known for and she wants to do. Whatever. Knock yourself out. Do what you want to do to make yourself happy. When I compare it to the yucca and to the bronze, I will say that the bronze is much, much deeper in tone. And for me personally, my skin tone, my hair color, and my taste, this is something I wear in the summer or in the fall. Actually, I never thought about this for fall. Absolutely for fall. And I love this because they gave it a tension color, a color to pair everything with, and that is pink. And to me, pink and bronze together, I love that combination. And here, colors are much lighter, much more neutral, but they are not cool. And I look at this palette and I think, perfect. I think most of us like a neutral palette, and most of us have a particular color that works for us, and we know it works for us because when we put it on, bang, everything works. It's like the Makeup by Mario palette. It's not the best formula in the world, but they have colors in there that really, really work for me. So I'm willing to make that, to spend more time doing the blend. With this, you don't have to spend time on the blend. These are beautiful. Do I have something like this from her? Really, no. I mean, you could look at other things and say, yes, that's here, and oh, that's there, and there are shades that sound very familiar. Teak, I know I've heard somewhere else. But really, no. I know for many people, you think it's a brown neutral palette, so what? The undertones make all the difference. So for me, I don't have something like this. I don't have a color story like this in the mattes. And for me, the mattes are the most important thing. That's what I'm really going to be using. But if you have something like this, if you feel you have enough neutrals, if you feel you have the right neutrals for yourself, maybe you don't need it. And then I pulled this out because I felt like there was some green when I worked on this yesterday, and now I'm not feeling like there's green in there. But that's a beautiful palette too. So up to you, you guys. I can only tell you that they blend very well. I can also say I don't think there's a huge variety of looks you're going to get out of this because we're working in one color tone or one color story, and that is fairly neutral. And to me, it really doesn't matter if you use the sparkling. Yes, the sparkling is different. But if you use a metallic or duochrome, if you are hooded, nobody's going to know the difference. You know what I mean? It's not enough difference to me to warrant all of those. But if you're into gold and you like those nuances and you are not hooded so people can actually see it on you, then knock yourself out. For me, that would be something I'd use by the lash line, which I showed on the first day, or, you know, maybe inner corner or a little bit right down here. And yeah, I guess, you know, I'm just here to present the facts, and you decide for yourself if this is something that you're into. I will list everything else that I'm wearing down below. I finished up my makeup, as you can see, and I do really like the look. I do. It's hard for me to say you need this palette because it looks like nothing, and yet, and I was even thinking, yeah, I'm going to return this. The truth is, I don't have these colors, and it is working for me. All right, you guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope it was helpful. and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart. And I'm wishing you good health.